Alright, so the last video talked about evaluating polynomials, and we were able to use either direct substitution or synthetic substitution to find any value on this graph. We could find the value of the function at x equals here or here, it didn't matter, we could find it at any point. This video is talking about the end behavior of our polynomials. So first we're going to look at what we call odd functions, where they have a degree that is an odd number. And these odd functions are going to go off in different directions, as you will, or start and end in opposite directions. This first example has a positive leading coefficient, and the second one has a negative leading coefficient. And you can kind of see that overall this graph is increasing, and overall this graph is decreasing. So that's kind of the difference in the positive and negative coefficient. And this little note over here and here is just saying that f of x, remember f of x is y, so y is decreasing. This negative infinity just means it's getting less and less and less, closer to negative infinity, as x decreases. So as we decrease our x, as we're looking at lower and lower values of x, our y is also decreasing, and we can see that in the graph. Over here is just the opposite, as our x is decreasing, or as we look at our graph this way, our y's are increasing. We can see that as we go this way on our graph, our y values are increasing. If we look at even functions, we can see that the end behavior is in the same direction. So if we're looking at an even degree, if we're looking at a positive leading coefficient, our end behavior both are up, and if your leading coefficient is negative, your end behavior is both down. And again, the side notes over here, just saying that f of x, or y, is increasing as x decreases. So as we look at x decreasing, as we get closer and closer to negative infinity, our y is increasing, and we can see that just by looking at the graph. And over here, as x is getting closer and closer to negative infinity, so as we look at x decreasing, we see that our y values are decreasing. My suggestion would be to pause the video and copy down these pictures in your notes, because these will be a very good reference. And the last thing I have is just a practice problem, trying to read this graph and telling whether the degree is odd or even, and if the leading coefficient is positive or negative. So I would pause this, try and figure out this problem, and come with an answer tomorrow.